What's going on, y'all? Charles here from the Traders Corner. Today, we have some clips from a discussion I had with my friend Delon Dixon over at Tren. So let's get into it. So, like I said, today we have some few clips from a podcast discussion that I had. If you want to see the whole podcast, we'll be posting that later. Or if you want to listen to the whole podcast, we'll be posting that later. But like I said, we have a few clips from that discussion I had, and they touch on a few things, right? So a few things that might be important to newer traders out there, and that is capital when getting started, how to approach that, how to approach learning when getting started when you don't have a lot of capital on hand, right? On top of that, we talk about different revenue streams around your trading and why he feels that's important to your overall trading success. And also the idea of eventually selling your own course if that's something that you might aspire to do. So we hope you enjoy it. We hope it provides some value to you. And please join us again. We hope you enjoy it. We hope it provides some value to you. And let's get to it.
And yeah, no, you brought up a good point. And like, just looking, like, I just start to look at people in our industry that we look up to that's successful.
Right.
And how do they move in those things? Like, I've been studying, you feel me, Q Banks a little bit more recently, you know what I mean? Because like, he definitely does not forget where he comes from, but now that a lot of people is hitting him up, he definitely has to maneuver a little bit differently. You see what I mean? And like, there was a Q&A and people were just asking him like on sincere tip, like, can you loan me, you feel me, $1,000 account to get started with? You know what I mean?
Like, no.
Stuff like that. And it's like, bro, like, you must have you forget who you talking to. You talking to a Jamaican kid that damn near had to do a million things to get bread.
He was
to
working
get
at fucking
his
Target.
first account.
Yeah.
So like you saying like, you know what I mean? You just don't want to hustle. You just want a handout. It's like, it's crazy. But at the same time, I always say this, some people are going to take this industry serious as a business, as a profession, and the people that's going to take it as a hobby is more so like gambling, and all the bread that they ask for is going to be blown anyway. You see what I mean? Because chances are a lot of people asking for bread, they probably haven't went through the demo trials. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole, you know what I mean? It's usually the beginners asking for the bread. When you get experienced people asking for bread, they already have a track record to show you. You see what I mean? Or asking for handouts, right? But you suck in between, like, you don't want to be no beginner, and then lucky a few times, and then some people see you get lucky, and then you start charging people. You see what I mean?
Right.
And trying to eat off the course, you know what I mean? Kind of like the IMLs, like a lot of people, they just give them access to the platform. They don't know what they're doing, but they have the platform that can, you know what I mean, act like it. You know what I mean? But with us, it's more so like, if we're going to do an independent company, I'm not going to sway anybody the wrong direction. You know what I mean? So just like we was talking about, if you're not serious, I don't want to make my company and myself look bad, right? At the end of the day, it goes both ways. You feel me? You don't have business until the customers trust you.
That was like, so if you think about it, like, obviously everybody's going to learn from certain people in the market, like, and for all the information is the same. It all goes to the same, like, basic concepts and frameworks within the market. Like, people will call like supply and demand, all this other bullshit. It all just goes into like liquidity and all, it's all the same basic frameworks, but you can learn something from somebody and it can kind of feel like you're kind of just like flipping that person's course.
Right.
Have you ever felt like that? You ever felt like, that was kind of like my second point, like you felt like you needed something proprietary almost, like of your own?
Yeah. No, bro, you brought up a good point. And I'm gonna just be 100% honest with you and like really give you the bigger picture, because I've been thinking about this for a while, right? Now, I'm not gonna tell too much of my business plan, but I will share some free game in this podcast. Everybody has a course, bro.
Right.
It's like everybody has a course. So it's like, I'm thinking in my head, how can I really scale trendsetters? You see what I mean? And will the course be the dominating stream of income for me. It can't, because this industry, like, you can stand out in a very saturated market by
doing something different. Yes.
You see what I mean? By being unique. Absolutely. You see what I mean? But with that, is one or two things that you can do. You can be very unique within how you structure and set up the course in itself, or you can be unique and have all different revenue streams around the course. And so you're not necessarily dependent strictly on that. Why is that important? You will draw more attention marketing wise if you have more to offer.
Something that me and D-Hart talk about all the time when we talk about trading, like, there's no reason why you should look at trading as just one stream of revenue, like just your trading account. Like, it can be if that's all you want it to be, but you have to understand that it's going to take you a little bit longer to likely, and maybe you don't have the same goals as everybody. Like, maybe you don't want to like trade completely, 100% by, only trade by, pretty much only trade your account to survive, basically is what I'm saying. But if you want to get to that point, it's a lot easier if you have another revenue stream around trading. So it's like you said, in the beginning of that conversation, everybody's got a course, and that's the reason why everybody's got a course. So everybody's got a signal service, everybody's got an ebook. Like, it just makes sense, And so kind of with that, and you mentioned before, like, you got some different things that you want to do as well. Like, what are you like trying to do? Like, I guess outside of trendsetters to kind of get the capital to like invest in that, because I know it can be hard to just like reinvest money.
Absolutely. No, you brought up a good point, man. And then been doing trendsetters for a little minute, you know what I mean? And I just realized, it's being humble, being transparent. It's like you have funds that you need to allocate to a specific account, you know what I mean? And have those funds be disposable, right? That means you don't care if you lose all of it or not.
Right. Exactly.
You feel me? If you don't have that, then you shouldn't be trading.
Exactly. I try to explain that to people all the time. I try
like emotional, that's just wear and tear. This is just cost, expenses, you gotta charge it to the game, right? And then, you feel me, you need business expenses to keep it operating how you want, you feel me, for the merch or whatever the case may be, streaming services, whatever the case may be. I try to, keep the overhead pretty low, but it's still there. Saying all this to say, if you devote every single expense, you feel me, only to that one stream of income, you know what I mean, or a couple streams of income within your business, it's hard to specifically reinvest in your business. You see what I mean? Because if you're worried about other living expenses, personal living expenses that has nothing to do with your business whatsoever, and you're using that, your trading account to fund that as well, it could be wear and tear. You see what I mean? And then your business
compounding as well.
I mean, so then your business ends up,